Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. How are you today? Today I am here with Emma and today we are going to talk about daily habits and productivity.
Hello, everyone. I am so happy to be here today. This is such a relevant topic because it affects all of us every single day. Let's get started.
Absolutely. I think almost everyone wants to be more productive and have better habits, but it is easier said than done, right?
That is so true. Knowing what to do and actually doing it are two very different things.
Exactly. So today we are going to talk about our personal habits, what works, what does not work, and hopefully give our listeners some useful ideas.
I love it. And of course, we will also practice some useful English vocabulary and phrases along the way.
Perfect. So, Emma, let me start with a simple question. Would you describe yourself as a productive person?
Honestly, it depends on the day. Some days I feel like I accomplish so much. Other days I feel like time just slips away from me.
I think that is very relatable. Most people feel that way. It's not about being productive every single day. It's about building systems that help you be consistent.
That is a great way to think about it. Consistency over perfection.
Exactly. And that's really what habits are all about. Small, consistent actions that add up over time.
Well said. Okay, let's dive in.
So let's start at the very beginning of the day. Morning routines. Do you have one, Emma?
I do. And honestly, my morning routine has changed my life. I know that sounds dramatic, but it's true.
It does not sound dramatic at all. A good morning routine really can set the tone for the entire day.
Exactly. So my morning routine starts the night before, actually.
Oh, interesting. Tell us more about that.
Well, I make sure to go to bed at a reasonable time, usually around 10 or 10:30, because if I do not sleep well, my whole next day suffers.
Sleep is so foundational. It affects your energy, your mood, your focus, everything.
Completely. So in the morning, I wake up at around 6:30. I do not immediately check my phone. That is very important to me.
Oh, that's a big one. A lot of people grab their phone the moment they wake up.
Yes, and it immediately puts you in a reactive state. You start reading messages and news, and suddenly your mind is overwhelmed before the day has even started.
That is such a good point. By avoiding your phone in the morning, you protect your mental space.
Exactly. So instead, the first thing I do is drink a full glass of water. Your body is dehydrated after sleeping all night, so hydration is step one.
Simple, but so effective. I do the same thing, actually.
Then I do about 10 minutes of light stretching or yoga, nothing intense, just enough to wake my body up and get the blood flowing.
That sounds very peaceful. Do you do it in silence or with music?
Usually in silence, or sometimes with soft background music. I really value that quiet time in the morning before the world gets loud.
I love that. Morning quiet time is precious. What comes after the stretching?
Then I make myself a cup of tea or coffee and I sit down for about 15 minutes of reading, usually something positive or educational, not social media or news.
So you're feeding your mind with something intentional before anything else.
Exactly. It sets a positive and focused tone for the day. And then I write down my 3 main goals for the day. Just 3, not 20, just 3.
Why only 3?
Because 3 is manageable. If you write 20 things on your to-do list, you'll feel overwhelmed and probably not finish most of them. But 3 things, you can actually complete 3 things.
That's brilliant. Focus on less, but do it better.
That's exactly the mindset. What about you, Daniel? What does your morning look like?
My morning is a little different. I'm not naturally a morning person, so it took me a long time to build a routine that works for me.
That's so relatable. Not everyone functions the same way in the morning.
Right. I wake up at around 7, and my non-negotiable first step is exercise. I go for a 30-minute run outside.
Oh, wow. A run first thing? That takes real discipline.
It does, but once I started doing it consistently, it became automatic. Now, if I miss it, my whole day feels off.
That's the power of habit. When something becomes automatic, it no longer requires willpower.
Exactly. After my run, I shower, have a healthy breakfast, usually eggs and fruit, and then I sit down to plan my day.
Do you use a planner or an app?
I use a physical notebook. I know a lot of people use apps, but there's something about writing by hand that helps me think more clearly.
I feel the same way. Writing by hand makes things feel more real and more committed.
Exactly. And then I start my most important work first, before emails, before messages, before anything else.
That's called eating the frog.
Yes. Do you know that concept, listeners? Eating the frog means doing your most difficult or important task first thing in the morning, before anything else.
It comes from a quote. If the first thing you do in the morning is eat a live frog, you can go through the rest of the day knowing the worst is already behind you.
Exactly. Get the hardest thing done first and everything else feels easier.
I love that concept. Okay, now let's talk about something that affects our habits a lot, our environment.
Yes, your environment plays a huge role in your productivity, more than most people realize.
Absolutely. There's a saying, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems.
Ooh, I love that. Where does that come from?
It's from a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Have you read it?
I have. It's one of the best books on habits and productivity I've ever read. I highly recommend it to everyone listening.
Same. It completely changed the way I think about habits. The main idea is that small changes, done consistently, lead to remarkable results over time.
1% better every day. That's the idea.
Exactly. And your environment is a big part of that. For example, if you want to eat healthier, put fruit on the counter instead of cookies. Make the healthy choice the easy choice.
That is such a simple but powerful idea. Design your environment so that good habits are easier and bad habits are harder.
Perfectly said. What does your workspace look like, Daniel?
My workspace is very minimal. A clean desk, a good chair, good lighting, and nothing on the desk except what I need for the task I'm working on.
Minimal is good. Clutter is the enemy of focus.
I completely agree. When my desk is messy, my mind feels messy too. When it's clean, I can think more clearly.
The same is true for me. I also make sure my workspace is separate from my relaxation space. I never work from bed, for example.
That's a really important boundary. Your brain associates different spaces with different activities. If you work from bed, your brain stops associating bed with rest.
Exactly, and then you struggle to sleep because your brain thinks the bed is a work zone.
So, listeners, if you work from home, try to create a dedicated workspace, even if it's just a corner of a room. It makes a real difference.
Great advice. Now let's talk about something that derails a lot of people's productivity. Distraction.
Distractions, the number one enemy of productivity in the modern world.
And the biggest source of distraction for most people is their smartphone.
Without question, the average person checks their phone over 100 times a day.
That's a staggering number. Every time you check your phone, you break your focus, and it takes time to get back into deep focus after an interruption.
There's research that says it takes about 23 minutes to fully regain your concentration after being interrupted.
23 minutes. That's so much lost time. So what do you do to manage phone distraction, Daniel?
I put my phone on silent and face down when I'm working. Out of sight, out of mind.
I go even further. I sometimes put my phone in another room completely. If it's not physically near me, I'm not tempted to check it.
That's strong. I've done that too during my most focused work sessions.
There's also a technique called the Pomodoro technique. Have you heard of it?
Yes. Can you explain it for our listeners?
Of course. The Pomodoro technique is very simple. You work for 25 minutes with complete focus, then you take a 5-minute break. After 4 rounds of this, you take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes.
So you work in short, intense bursts with scheduled breaks.
Exactly. It's very effective because it makes work feel manageable. 25 minutes is not overwhelming, and knowing a break is coming helps you stay focused.
I love that technique. I use it when I have a big project that feels overwhelming. Breaking it into 25-minute sessions makes it much less intimidating.
Perfectly said. Now let's do our English learning section, because this topic has a lot of great vocabulary.
Great idea. Let's start with some important words from today's conversation.
First word, routine. routine. A routine is a set of actions that you do regularly in a fixed order.
For example, my morning routine helps me start the day with focus.
Next word, productive. productive. It means achieving a lot in a given amount of time.
For example, I had a very productive day. I finished 3 important tasks.
Next, consistent. consistent. It means doing something regularly without stopping.
For example, the key to learning English is being consistent. Practice a little every day.
Now let's look at some useful phrases. First phrase, set the tone. This means to establish the mood or direction for something.
For example, a good morning routine sets the tone for the entire day.